Hi, friends. Focus in on the sound of the chimes. Train your brain to focus. If you can focus and eliminate all distractions, that'll help you to be the best student you can possibly be. Ready? Focus. Now, ground your sits bones into your chair, or wherever you're sitting. Pull your shoulders back, and let's take 3 deep breaths. Sealing your lips, let's breathe in and out through our nose. Ready? Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Now, when you take 3 deep breaths, it gets your brain ready to listen and ready to learn. Want to know what else it does? It helps you to calm down. So if you're feeling a little anxious or worried, you can take those 3 deep breaths. They're always available to you. In fact, we're going to read 2 stories today about worrying. What should you do when you worry? Take 3 deep breaths? That's one thing. We're going to read a story about Ruby, and she finds a worry. And her worry looks like this in this story. What does Ruby do when she gets a worry? And then what by one of my favorite authors, Todd Parr, called the Don't Worry book. Let's see what Todd has to say about worrying. I'm going to read these 2 books. I hope you enjoy them. And I hope you can spend a day without that many worries. Finds a worry. There's our little friend Ruby and her little tiny worry right there. Let's read about what Ruby does with her worry. She doesn't look very worried here, does she? Ruby finds a worry. Maybe her worry found her. Ruby loved being Ruby. She loved to swing up high. I love to swing too, do you? And she loved to explore wild, faraway places. Sometimes she even went all the way to the very bottom of the garden. Ruby was perfectly happy until one day she discovered a worry. It wasn't a very big worry. In fact, it was so small that at first Ruby hardly noticed it. But then the worry started to grow. And each day it got a little bit bigger. And just wouldn't leave her alone. It was there at breakfast, staring at her over the cereal box, and it was still there at night when she brushed her teeth. The funny thing was that no one else could see Ruby's worry. Not even her teacher. So Ruby pretended that she couldn't see it either. She tried to carry on as if everything was normal, but it just wasn't. The worry was always there, stopping her from doing the things that she loved, like swinging, right? I love to swing too. Ruby wondered if the worry would ever go away. What if it didn't? What if it stayed with her forever? Ruby didn't realize it, but she was doing the worst thing you can ever do with a worry. She was worrying about it. And now the worry was enormous. Look how big it is. It could barely fit in the kitchen at dinner time. And it filled up half the school bus. How big that worry is. And it took up whole rows at the movie theater. The worry became the only thing that Ruby could think about, and it seemed like she would never feel happy again. Then one day, something unexpected happened. And she noticed something else. Ruby noticed a boy sitting alone at the park. He looked how she felt. Sad. Something was hovering next to him. Could it be a worry? It was! Ruby realized that she wasn't the only person with a worry after all. Other people had them too. She asked the boy what was on his mind, and as he told her, the strangest thing happened. His worry began to shrink. Then Ruby did the best thing that you can ever do if you have a worry. She talked about it. As the words tumbled out, Ruby's worry began to shrink until it was barely there at all. Soon, both of their worries were gone. Finally, Ruby felt like herself again. Of course, that wasn't the last time that she ever had a worry. See, there's one peeking right there. Everyone gets them from time to time. But now that she knew how to get rid of them, they never hung around for very long. And the author writes us a note in the back, and it says, "Dear reader, this book is about a girl who can't get rid of a worry. Everyone worries about things from time to time, and it can be hard to stop. Even though we can't see our worries like Ruby can, they're there with us. Ignoring them can sometimes make them worse. So here's a few questions to ask yourself when you think you have a worry stuck to you. What am I feeling? Sad, angry, anxious, all three? What could be causing me to feel this way? Who can I talk to about it? No matter what you're feeling, remember that it always helps to talk about it. Be open, be honest, be you. Love, Tom." The Don't Worry book by one of my favorite authors, Todd Parr. The Don't Worry book. Sometimes you worry. See, sometimes you lay right in bed and start to worry. Worrying happens when you think too much about a problem or feel afraid that something bad is going to happen. You might worry when you meet someone for the first time. When someone is being mean, or when it's dark. When you're trying to sleep, or when you go to the bathroom. When you go somewhere new. You might worry when you're alone. Unless you have your dog there, and then that would be okay. Or when you have too much to do. So many things to juggle. You might start to worry then. You might worry when it rains, or here in Minnesota, when it snows. When you get sick or have to go to the doctor, you might worry. You might worry when watching TV, because it's too scary or something. You might worry. You might worry from looking at screens too much. Starts to turn your brain to mush a little bit. You might worry when someone is being loud, like your dog. Woof, bark, woof, bark, oh! My dog barks all the time at the window. You might worry when you go to school or when you overhear some bad news. Worrying can make you sad. When you worry, try doing something to keep yourself busy, like talking to someone special, like your fish. Taking deep breaths. That always helps. Visiting friends. Or my favorite thing, wearing underwear on your head. Reading a book. Dancing. Exercising. Woof meow yoga. That looks like a fun class. I want to take that one. Squeezing a toy. Squeak, squeak. Or thinking about all the things that make you strong. That'll help your worrying, right? And remembering everyone who loves and takes care of you.